Didn't you boys get the?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to this edition of SportsView, Monday the 13th of October, 2025. Good evening, Joe, and welcome.
Good evening, Pat. Evening, Darwin.
Good evening, Darwin,
Joe.
and welcome.
Hiya, Pat. Joe, how are you both?
Now,
Oh,
there's a
thank
there's a rumor that Rangers are interviewing a new man for the job. You know, they're finding it very hard to get someone for the job, but we don't know whether we'll have news or not before the program is over. But if we have any developments, we will let you know.
So
And
who
for
are they interviewing?
I don't know. So well, not me anyway. I'm not dressed for it.
Yeah, I didn't get the phone call either. It was only Darwin got the phone call.
I don't want to say anything, boys.
That's okay. The standard no comment. But
no comment. I signed in NDA.
For people who want to interact with the program, you can do so because we're live on YouTube, and you can. We have a comments page. You can join in with us, and the details at the bottom of the screen as well. This the SportsView email is on there, and also our text line is open as well till 9 o'clock. And you're more than welcome to interact with us and give your comment. Jess. But we generally start with soccer, and the Premiership is on a break because there have been World Cup international qualifying games, and to that end, Ireland went over to Portugal and lost 1-0. Germany won 4-0 in Luxembourg. These are just a sprinkling of some results. Northern Ireland beat Slovakia 2-0. Great result for Northern Ireland. France won against Azerbaijan 3-0. Spain won 2-0 against Georgia. And Hungary beat Armenia, that's in our group, 2-0. And Italy beat Estonia 3-1. But to me, I have to say, the result of the weekend to me was where are they gone now? Where's my picture gone? Was Aminos in world football, who are the Faroe Islands, had a fantastic result in their group L, if people want to look it up. And as you know, they beat the Czech Republic. You can see it up there, 2-1 in their group. Now, the population of the Faroe Islands is 54,000. That's from last year's figure. So it's an incredible achievement for the Faroe Islands to have that result. And they have one game left in the group. And I'll just tell you where they're standing. In Group L, Croatia are topping that group with 16 points. The Czech Republic are on second place with 13. The Faroe Islands are on 12 points. Montenegro on 6 and Gibraltar on no point. And both the Czech Republic and the Faroe Islands are after playing 7 games each, so they only have 1 game each left. So it's between the Czech Republic and the Faroe Islands for the next spot in the group. I think it's a tremendous achievement.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's amazing when you think about it.
It is.
You know, I mean, it's just out of interest. What are the remaining games?
I didn't see that now, Joe, but I don't know. I hope it is against Gibraltar, with all due respect to Gibraltar.
Right. It would be nice if the Czech Republic had to play
Croatia,
yeah. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
That'd be a hell of a game, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Now, our Group F, Ireland lost 1-0 to Portugal, you know. I blame the goalkeeper for the goal. That's my own opinion. I know what people think of our goalkeeper. Portugal are top of the group on 9 points. Hungary are on 4 points. Armenia on 3 points. And Ireland on 1 point. They're halfway through the group. So we need to win our 3 remaining games. And at that, we may not make it. But anyway, we're playing tomorrow night. We're playing Armenia at home tomorrow night. Nothing else will do except to win at this stage, you know. England are playing tomorrow night as well. They're already qualified, and they're playing Latvia, I think, tomorrow night in Latvia. So that should be a good leg
Did-
warmer.
Did anybody see that Scotland game last night?
Scotland, terrific.
I'll tell you what, how those goals were disallowed.
Oh yeah,
I'm lost for words. I mean, that referee last night was terrible.
the referee in the Portuguese game was very protectionist attitude to Portugal. You know, he had a very, very dismissive attitude to Ireland, which was obvious on television, you know, and it must have been obvious to the people in the ground and people on the line as well, you know. But,
Scotland got, I mean, Gay got lucky last night because they had, the other lot had 2 goals disallowed, and there was no way they were disallowed for anything other than just nonsense.
Well, I mean, it was the same with the penalty shots, though, wasn't it? In the Ireland game in Portugal. I mean, the Portuguese guy handled the ball.
Yeah.
The Irish guy doesn't, and VAR doesn't step in and do anything about it.
I mean, there
no,
was
because it was Ireland.
yeah.
That's why.
So one
No
of the
other
goals last
reason.
night, one of the goals that got disallowed last night was what appears to be a foul just inside Scotland's half on McTominay, and McTominay kicked the other bloke standing leg, and the other bloke didn't touch him. It was McTominay tripping over the guy's standing leg as he passed the ball. And
Yes.
the ball carried on. Now this is just like a yard inside the halfway line. It carried on. They scored a great goal, and then it blows up and brings it back to the halfway line, and then VAR looked at it from every single angle and gave it foul to McTominay. Disallowed the goal.
Dear.
The bloke, I can't remember who they played. No, not Romania, was it? It was one of that, like that out east thing. And it basically...
Slovenia.
Who was it?
Slovenia, was it? I'm not too sure now. I'll have to look it up.
Remember, Serbia, maybe, was it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
And he kicked the opponent's leg. The opponent didn't touch McTominay. And you're just like, that's just bonkers.
I think there's been an awful lot of mistakes, blatant mistakes by VAR, as we alluded to here many times. We don't have to go on a big rant, but really, it's very poor, very poor.
There was 9 added minutes in that Scotland game for VAR checks. How about that?
Wow.
Oh, that's an awful lot. That's an awful lot. I thought technology, the whole point of technology would be to speed up the process of making decisions, you know?
It was. I mean, they got lucky last night.
Well, Wales are playing Belgium as we're on air, and Belgium took the lead. Our Wales took the lead, but Belgium has just levelled by De Bruyne. Guess
Wales
what?
The Wales the other night looked awful against England.
Yeah.
I mean, that I wouldn't say they were outclassed, but they were outclassed.
Well, they were outclassed, and England played very well. That goal from Saka, the third goal they got, was just top drawer stuff, you know. The others were...
They couldn't defend to save their lives, Wales. I mean, the goal at... I mean, basically just chested it in.
Yeah, Scotland beat Belarus 2-1, and Denmark beat Greece 3-1 in that group, Group C. With Scotland.
That was Belarus last night, was it?
Yeah.
I knew it was somewhere up there.
Yeah, they're Belarus, and so... Well, they got to win, and they're going well. You know, they're going very well, you know. Now, I don't know where Ireland are going, and I don't want to be too negative. They're playing Armenia tomorrow night, and I don't know how that will go, you know. It's just one long sorry tale, I could say. Your own team, Joe, were beaten 2-1 the weekend, Grimsby.
Yeah.
By Colchester. But they're still going well in League Two. Walsall are on 24, Swindon are on 24 points, and Gillingham are on 22, MK Dons, Grimsby, and Chesterfield all on 21, and Barnet on 20. So they're the top 7 teams, So they're all going well. Well, Division 1 and 2 had their own games over the weekend. Just only the Premiership and the Championship were not played. But the World Cup qualifiers are still on tonight and tomorrow night for people who are interested in in that kind of thing, Over the weekend as well, the URC, the United Rugby Championship, had continued with all the provinces taking part in it. Leinster had their first win of the championship. They beat Sharks at home 31-5. Cardiff came over and beat Connacht 14-8. Also beat the Bulls 28-7. And Munster beat Edinburgh 2019, down in Cork. And it was a good win for them. And we keep an eye on the top 14 as well. La Rochelle, I'm afraid, lost again away to Stade Francais 26-24 in a cracking game of rugby. Racing 92 beat Montpellier 32-23, and they're all going very well. They're just starting off their group as well. So that was the rugby, but Munster had a good win. So that I don't know what way that leaves the table. Oh yeah, the Stormers and Munster are top with 14 points each. Glasgow and Cardiff then are on 11, and Ulster and the Bulls are on 10 points. So they're after 3 or 4 games in the URC. So they'll be Northern Ireland are going well as well, going very well in Group A. They're sharing leadership with Germany, believe it or not, on 6 points each, and Slovakia are on 6 points as well. Luxembourg have no point in that group. So Northern Ireland are playing very well, and we wish them well as well. To be nice to see them. When did they qualify for the World Cup last, Northern Ireland?
Oh wow, that's
a $1 million question, is it?
wow. Was that a time in Spain? Was Spain the last time they qualified?
82.
Yeah, was that it?
You know something, Joe? I think you're right. Was it? Yeah, I think it was.
I don't remember them being there since. I mean,
yeah, that was 1982. All right,
Yeah, they got to the quarterfinals in that one.
Oh, they did very well in the World Cup in '82.
They beat Spain in Spain.
They did, yeah. That was
they really.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
That caused a sensation, yeah. Caused a sensation.
Oh, Chris Nicholl was telling me that after the game, the guys were crying in the dressing room. And he says, we didn't know whether we were crying because we were happy that we had moved on to the next round, or we were crying because we had moved on to the next round. And we're going to be another week away from our families. That was...
They had a decent team in 1982.
Oh, they had a fine team. Jerry Armstrong scored a goal.
Jerry Armstrong scored a goal, yeah.
Yeah. They had Norman Whiteside, Martin O'Neill.
Well, it was Lou McCarry with that team, or was he with...
No, he was with Scotland.
He was Scotland,
yeah. They had Chris Nicholl. They probably had Jimmy Nicholl in that team as well.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that time. Trying to think who the other midfield player... Oh, Sammy McElroy.
Sammy McElroy, yes.
Yeah, I would have been with him. And Dave... what's his... Yeah, played for Man United as well. Went on to Newcastle afterwards.
Norman Whiteside.
Norman Whiteside.
Gillespie? No,
not Gillespie.
Norman Whiteside, yeah. They had a fabulous team.
They had Pat. I don't think Pat was Pat in goal. I think he'd retired by then, hadn't he?
Pat Jennings?
Yeah. I think he might have retired
1982?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought
I don't know that now, I don't know that.
or he'd be close to it, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Who would have been the spare keeper for Northern Ireland then?
That's what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember who they were.
Wouldn't be Bonner, would it? He was Southern, wasn't he?
No, Bonner was for Republic.
Republic. Yeah.
Was it Jim Platt was the goalkeeper that time? Middlesbrough guy?
Northern Ireland squad. I'm looking it up here, lads. Jennings. Yeah, Pat Jennings was in the squad.
So Pat was the goalkeeper then.
Yeah. Jennings, Jimmy Nicholl, Donaghy, McCreary.
David McCreary, that's who I was trying to think about.
John O'Neill, Robertson, O'Neill, Armstrong, McElroy, Hamilton.
Brian Hamilton was in that.
Yeah, Nelson, Cassidy, Finney, Whiteside, Platt, Jameson, Healy, Cleary, Campbell, Dunlop. The coach is Bingham.
Billy Bingham,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's 1982 for all listeners. The Northern Ireland World Cup squad who beat Spain in Spain, the hosts.
Yeah,
that was an absolute. Yeah, that was. I don't know who the coach of Spain was, but he certainly didn't get a free meal anyway for a while.
You know. Yeah, that was.
He had to buy his own chips after the match, but
wasn't that the World Cup where Ron Greenwood got a right amount of earache from the fans and from the press because he left Brooking and Keegan out of the match?
Oh yeah.
Was it against Spain in the qualifiers?
I think
and
it
Spain
was,
went down and qualified.
Yeah.
And England didn't.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Ron Greenwood.
Yeah.
Ron's 22.
Yeah. That was something, that one.
They always had a way of making it very awkward for the team to qualify. I'm talking about England managers down through the years, you know. And
yeah, I mean it was, you know, it's a tough decision when you're looking at it and dealing with it, because England had played pretty well up to then, and Keegan and Brooking hadn't played in the previous matches. They were injured. They were all injured.
Yeah.
And England had gotten good results. So.
And that would have been Paul Mariner up front, wouldn't it?
It probably would have been Paul Mariner up front. Trying to think who else would have been part of that group. God. Of course, Shilton and Clements probably were the two goalkeepers.
Yeah.
I think that would they fancy themselves winning the World Cup this time?
Who, England?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the players. I mean, they've got good players. There's no doubt about that. They've been, I mean, let's be honest, they've been really close under
Southgate.
Yeah, Southgate. So, you know, you just never know with an extra push from a guy like Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah,
they might get over the line with it. But I don't think that there's a weak area of the English team, is there? I mean, they're good goalkeeping, they're good defensively, they're good in midfield, they're good up front, they're good out wide.
It's whether they put it all together on the night, isn't it?
Well, and that's the thing with it, you know. I mean, it's tournament football. There's an awful lot of luck goes into it as well. You know, I mean, all your players have to stay fit. They've all got to have recovered from their regular season efforts, and you've got to. And you've all got to be playing well at the same time, and then you got to get the rub of the green.
I was going to say you've got to have luck as well, haven't you?
Oh yeah. I mean it.
Well, in the Ireland Portugal match, Keller saved the penalty from the billionaire footballer Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, and things seem to be going well, but in the 98th minute, the goalkeeper, if you can watch it back on YouTube, the goalkeeper was just too slow off his line to clear. If you're going to go for a ball as a goalkeeper, in my opinion, you have to make sure that you're either going to get something on it or take the player and ball out of the match. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. I didn't see that. Now that you say it was on YouTube, I tried to look on YouTube and I couldn't find it on there.
Yeah.
But just reading some of the stuff from it, by that stage, they brought a third centre back on to kind of shut up shop.
They were on Johnny, but Collins
yeah.
had a terrific match. Terrific.
Yeah. So it was just, one of those things. But,
the player from PSG scored the winner.
Yeah. But, you look at it and you go, and that's the difference between the levels of the teams, right? Yeah. The Portuguese and the top players can keep their concentration for 90 odd minutes.
Absolutely.
And our guys, are not at that level. I mean, they're certainly playing at the top level, some of them in the Premier League, but you wouldn't say that they were the best players in their positions there. And, in a match like that was so important and so full of, the emotion of it, especially after losing the previous game.
Yes, indeed.
It only takes one little letdown, and unfortunately, that was it. One mistake cost us the game.
Yeah, and as we're on air at the moment, Germany are playing Northern Ireland to get primacy of the group, and Germany are playing up in Northern Ireland. They're gone 1-0 ahead after 40 minutes. That's Germany is, and Belgium are gone ahead against Wales 2-1 as well after falling 1-0 behind. So they're the matches that are on tonight. And France are playing tonight as well. They're playing Iceland, which are 0-0 at the moment. Anyway, they're for tonight. But tomorrow night is our red letter night in the soccer. I would say that we have to get a result out of that. We have to get a result out of that match tomorrow night.
It's going to be interesting to see how he sets out his stall tomorrow night. How he approaches it. I mean, he played with 5 at the back on Saturday against Portugal.
He did.
So was the mistake when we went to Armenia that you feel that you can win the game, so you go after it, and then you end up on the wrong side of it, of the result. We're in the business now of just trying to dig out results, and a point against Portugal would have been a great result for us.
It would have been a fantastic result, and they would have set up the team for tomorrow night and to go on further.
Yeah. So but again, hopefully that they can, play the way they played the other night, and
you would hope so.
Yeah, and I mean, was Armenia away? Was that just like a one-off disappointment that the guys didn't play that well as a group?
I thought they played well, but they were very naive. And Armenia had a brilliant attack, breakaway attacks. We'll say they were very tuned into that. Watching for Ireland to move up, and they were very, very, very good at that. The breakaway.
Yeah. So they were playing us on the counter attack then, and
yes, that's what I meant.
Trying to get So I mean, that's going to be the danger again tomorrow night. If we don't play with 5 across the back, that's going to be the danger of us getting caught again, trying to win the game and then getting sucker punched at the end of it by one breakaway. So that's kind of I'm just interested to see how he goes after this game. And how he sets it up.
Well, by the way, thanks, Mary, for the comment. Well done, boys. You know, I'm sure she means the 2V. Well done, boys. Don't forget, you can have interact with the program as well. It's being live streamed on our YouTube channel and on Facebook, and you can feel free to make a comment and an opinion on it, on anything we're talking about on the program. You know.
Watch out, Joe.
Yeah.
Now we have with a few the golf over there with a few golf tournaments on over the weekend, and Alexandra Schauffele won again. It's his first win since the Open. Is it last year he won?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He won the Bay Current Classic at 19 under. That was Zach Schauffele. The Spanish Open on the DP Tour was won by your man Marco Ping from Britain in a playoff, and he won the Spanish Open. And I think there was a picture there. I'll bring it up in a minute. I think we have some pictures from that, have we? I'm not too sure of that, but we'll have a look in a minute. But we have
quite interesting to hear all the comments that are
we have a
coming
big.
How you doing? Everything good? Yeah, it's great. Great meeting you.
Shane Kelly, how are you?
Shane, good to see you. Everything good?
Yeah, good. How was your fortnight?
Oh, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Alcaraz met his hero, Shane Lowry, and Shane missed the cut by one stroke. You know, but it's a nice photograph, a nice memory for him anyway.
It's quite interesting the fallout coming out from the Ryder Cup, though, isn't it?
Yeah, still going on. It's still going on, and I don't think it will let up till they land in down here next year in 2027 in Adair. I think they'll be still resonating. You know.
I can't believe the way Keegan Bradley's behaving.
He's American.
I mean, they got squarely beat for 2 days, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with it. I mean, just because they've mounted a challenge on the last day, which, you know, who does this remind you of, right? Reminds you of Greg Norman, right?
Yeah.
He has 2 days of playing absolute, that isn't anywhere near it. And then on the last day, he mounts a challenge and just misses by one shot or whatever it is. And it's like, oh, it's a great. Well, what was he doing for the first 2 days? If he played properly for the first 2 days, he'd have won the tournament probably with the way he played in the last 2 days. Same with the Americans. For 2 days, they got their butts whooped by the Europeans.
Do you know what amazes me about the Ryder Cup, though, Joe and Pat? The Americans are no good at that first 2 day events. They don't like foursomes, and they don't really know how to play fourball. And you'd think by now one of those captains, and I'm probably going back like at least 5 Ryder Cups here.
Yeah.
Probably say over that 10-year period, wouldn't you have thought that they would have got their act together and gone, what makes this European team tick for 2 days? Because on paper, the Europeans will get smashed in that singles because America's got the depth of 12 players. Europe have probably got 8. So that's 4-0 really to America.
Well, I would say this year Europe had 4 to America's 12.
Yeah, exactly. But it's always been the same. But that foursomes and fourball setup for 2 days, you'd think by now that they would have gone, right, this is the Ryder Cup team, and we're going to go away to a little camp for 2 or 3 days and learn how to play foursomes. And a lot of it is that American tour is individuals. They are cutthroat. They are at each other for 52 weeks of the year. And you cannot expect them to get together for a week and be mates. Whereas the European tour is the complete opposite version of that. And those guys are mates, and they do travel together, and they do go and have a social game of golf. They do go to tennis and watch Wimbledon. Whereas the Americans don't do any of that. They're 12 individuals, and they tried to pair them up, and they can't do it. You know, what we saw last month isn't that unusual, is it, for the Ryder Cup?
No, and Keegan Bradley should have dropped Scotty Scheffler after the first day. You know,
Scheffler's the world's #1 player right now.
Yeah.
But he's an individual who likes his own company, doesn't really have any mates out there, and you're putting him out there with another player, and they've got to gel together. You know, I remember having a conversation with one or two really big Ryder Cup players back in the late 80s, early 90s, and they had already started, like Monty had already started working out what ball to use, because he was contract the Callaway.
Yeah.
And not everybody used the Callaway ball back then. They weren't a popular ball. And everybody was using Titleist. Yet Monty, in certain practice rounds, went out to play with someone he thought he's probably going to get drawn with. And he played some practice rounds with a Titleist golf ball to get a feel for it. And the person he was going to get paired with played with a Callaway for a few practice rounds. So he could get used to it. And then they could go, yeah, I can live with that Callaway ball. Or, no, I can't use that.
Yeah.
Yet, you've got 12 of, that 12 American singles team. You've probably got 12 out of the top 20 there, haven't you, in the world?
Quite near enough to.
And you may even go top 15 maybe in the world.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe more than that even.
Yeah, and you're sitting there, and yet their weakness is foursomes and four balls. You'd kind of go, yeah, I'm aware. I know they got to play the singles on that Friday, but I'm also shocked that they don't, when it's in America, that they don't go, right, we're having the four balls in the morning and the foursomes in the afternoon. Because in the four balls, they've got a chance, because it's two individuals, go and play your own ball.
Yes.
And to me, if I was advising the American Ryder Cup team, I'd be saying, listen, you've got the choice of going foursomes in the morning or four balls. Why don't you go four balls in the morning, and then you've got your 12 players playing their own ball, their own game, and they don't have to talk to each other in that format.
No.
And then in the afternoon, you've got to gel somehow. And I don't know how you're going to do it, but you've got to do it. There isn't an option. But you watch that Ryder Cup team, and you watch some of the highlights back. The Americans are barely going back out to watch their mates, because they're not mates. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Go on, Joey.
I saw an interview one day with David Fairty, not our Irish guy, Northern Irish guy, and he was interviewing Sam Turns, and they were talking about their times together and what have you, and the lads were alluding to the fact that they went out on the tear a few times together.
Yeah,
and I can imagine the European lads doing that after rounds of golf on the last day or whatever.
Yes.
And going for a couple of pints and hanging out together. And I cannot imagine the Americans doing that.
No.
You know, there's a couple of them, because Justin Thomas and
Spieth, Jordan Spieth,
they're best buddies, aren't they?
Yeah.
So those guys, they play.
They play all their practice rounds.
Yeah.
Ricky Fowler.
Yeah.
Ricky Fowler plays.
Yeah, Fowler and Spieth weren't on the team. They didn't make the team, so they didn't.
Right.
But again, you sit there and you kind of go, I get what Keegan Bradley's saying about, he feels that there was a load of cheating going on with Hovland. And it does look a little bit suspect, but at the end of the day, if Hovland says he's hurt his neck and he can't play golf, he's hurt his neck and can't play golf, can he?
But that's the thing with it. Who is Keegan Bradley to say that he wasn't injured?
Yeah,
Keegan Bradley was clutching at straws, as
Yeah.
a man would say.
He's
You know,
he's looking for excuses. And the first thing,
he oversaw a complete shambles on behalf of the US Ryder Cup team. Keegan Bradley did.
but he witnessed it for 2 days.
But it's a reoccurring thing. Every first 2 days of a Ryder Cup, America are up against it straight away. Look back at the previous one with Scotty Scheffler and Scheffler and Koepka together. They got, what did they get, 10 and 8? It was something like that, wasn't it? 10 and 8.
Yeah.
They're halfway round and they've lost.
Yeah.
And you sit there and kind of go, boys, do you not? I'm just amazed that no one in the American hierarchy of the PGA, of the tour or whatever, have not sat down and gone, right, the first day you normally, if you can come out even, you've played out of your skins the first day.
Yeah.
And that's coming out evens. If you come out evens after 2 days, you're flying, you'll win. Because you'll win the singles.
Yeah.
You'll win more than you lose in the singles. And yet, no captain yet for the last, and I think I'm being generous by saying the last 5 Ryder Cups, you could probably go further back. No one yet has sat down and sussed it out. I don't get it. It's like, and like I think, Bradley, to me, was probably the worst choice of American captain to start with, because he probably should have been playing.
Yeah.
And
yes, that is true.
Yeah, and again, you sit there and if you look at the Ryder Cup captains for Europe, 9 times out of 10, their playing days are over.
Yeah, Arnold Palmer was the last playing captain for America.
But if you look at the last half a dozen captains for the European team, they haven't got any qualms. I'm never going to make the team. I can concentrate on picking pairs and working things out, and because their days are gone. Whereas Keegan Bradley will go out and win tournaments this year and next year.
Yeah, probably will. Yeah.
And
but you're right. I mean, about the whole thing. Look what happened when Tom Watson was the captain, right? I mean, right after the event, Phil Mickelson is blaming Tom Watson for the loss.
Yeah.
Tom Watson never played a ball.
No.
He never had a shot.
No.
But it's all the other guys. And they're just looking, it's always past the buck. It's never them that are not able to adjust to it. It's always somebody else's fault.
And to me, that Ryder Cup as an event could go the wrong way in a few years' time, because it starts becoming a bit of a one-sided event like it used to be in the 50s and 60s.
That is very true.
And the 70s, when America just won everything.
They just turned up.
Yeah. And to me, they got to be... I don't think it's the European team. I think the American team have got to have a rethink on how they do this.
But here's a question for you, right? When you talk about that and go down that road with it, how long before these top American golfers decide they're not going to play in the Ryder Cup because they get too much bad publicity from it?
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, that one at Bethpage crossed the line, didn't it? That last Ryder Cup crossed the line, and they've got every Ryder Cup in America has got very close to crossing the line.
Yeah.
But this one round went the full hog, didn't it? It went over the top.
No doubt about it. It is.
And you've got the Scottish, what sort of because their egos are going to be looking at things and going, well, I can't win a point in the Ryder Cup. Why am I going? If you haven't got to go back that far to the mid-70s when Johnny Miller refused to play in 2 Ryder Cups because he'd rather go fishing.
Well, Tom Weisskopf did the same. He went hunting.
Weisskopf did it. Went hunting, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, it's.
Tally ho.
I can imagine, like some of those players going, "I don't want to be part of this."
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because we're getting demolished. But then at the same time, you've got to blame themselves for allowing themselves to get demolished. Because even the players should be standing there going, well, I can't play with him. I can't play with him. I don't like him. Don't put me with him. You know, I look back at one example of the Ryder Cup with regards Europe, where it happened twice. Once with Paul Way, as a young guy qualified for the Ryder Cup. Tony Jacklin was the captain, and he went to Seve and said, I'm putting you with Paul Way. And Seve went, oh, okay, I thought I would have been playing with Canizares. This is before Elazabal, right?
Yes.
And Jacklin turned around and said, Paul Way thinks you're God. Right? You are his God.
Yeah.
He will play better. You will inspire him because he adores you. You are Seve.
You are man. You're the man.
He did the same thing the following Ryder Cup with David Guilford. So David Guilford had made the Ryder Cup team as a bit of a journeyman. No disrespect to him.
No, that's right.
Journeyman pro. And Jacklin went up to him one of the practice rounds and says, just so you know, you're playing with Seve. He'd never played, never got paired with Seve in any single event on the European Tour. And Guilford went, oh, what? You're putting me with Seve? And he went, no. Seve's going to look after you. And Seve literally, for 2 practice rounds, went out of his way to play practice rounds with David Guilford and around the Belfry and showed, I want you to hit it over here. I want you to hit it there.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go here. I want you to go there. And if you feel better teeing off first, you tee off first. Doesn't worry me. I'll tee off second. And he, again, put his arm round. Now, when you see those examples, that to me is the Ryder Cup team for Europe.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
Could you imagine Scheffler being the best player in the world, putting his arm round one of those rookies like that, Ben Griffin?
Ben Griffin, yeah.
Putting his arm around him and say, listen, you're going to play with me and I'm going to show you how to go around this golf course. Because they don't do that Monday to Sunday on the tour. They don't do that. Whereas, again, the European Tour, Joe, you saw that documentary about Torrance and Faherty, about some of the crack they had. And but I know that I could have gone to Torrance at any stage during a practice rounds for an event, even gone to Seve. You could go to Faldo and say, I'm playing on my own tomorrow. Any chance of joining up with you? And you wouldn't. What would the answer have been?
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer would, of course, no problem at all. And I remember the first few events you play on the tour, you come down in the hotel around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. You might be on your own, but you're not on your own because there's another group there who just go, are you on your own? Yeah, Carl, come on, you're with us. And you get embraced into it.
Yes.
And that culture away from the golf course and away from
playing.
18 holes in a tournament, you're trying your nuts off to do better than the other 2 guys you're teed up with.
Yeah.
But once you finish, you stand on the practice ground talking, you stay on the practice tee, you practice putting green, you on a lift back to the hotel, in the hotel, you're in that environment. The American Tour does not breed that camaraderie, I suppose is the word I'm using.
And not because he's Irish. I think that's why Lowry is embraced so much. Yeah. He's an inclusive attitude to people,
But if you look at when you look at Justin Rose is the same.
Yeah.
He's there to help. Even Tyrrell Hatton is to help. They're not individuals. They're a team.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's just a European culture because of our football you know, all the sports we tend to play are really team events, aren't they? As when we're kids,
They are, yeah, they are.
you know, you don't go to school and play individual tennis or individual golf, do
Baseball,
you?
baseball is individual, isn't it?
But that, I mean, that's the case for all of us, though, from the time we grew up,
Yeah,
being a part of it. You
yeah,
know, and if you're there and you're down on the green and you're playing a game, and somebody shows up, and it doesn't matter if the teams are even or uneven, you say, "Come on, yeah, come on and play." You know, we had an example. You know, it's funny how you say stuff like that. I was back in Grimsby last year, for my brother's 70th birthday. And we had an event on the thing for me coming back on the Friday night, the night before the game. So we had the event, and then afterwards we went down to Weatherspoons in Cleethorpes. And there was about 8 of us in our group. And sitting on their own was a Grimsby Town fan who I'd met previously, and he was at the event that night. And we're sitting there, and I just said, "Johnny, come on over here and sit with us. Don't sit on your own."
yeah,
You know, and that's the difference of the way we're brought up.
yeah.
We're taught to be inclusive, not exclusive.
Exactly.
You know,
It's in our genes. It's in
it
our
is.
genes.
It is.
Joey, I remember playing a mini tour event I played a whole winter in mini tours in Florida and mini tours in California for about 3.5 months, and I couldn't get I was the only Brit there. Luckily, there was a couple of Australians that I could socialise with.
Yeah,
A couple of Mexicans. I could not get my head round that you'd be on a bus coming back from the tournament with 40 guys on a coach going back to the event hotel.
yes,
And I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting like across the aisle from a couple of well-known American pros. I'm going, well, what do you guys do tonight? Are you gonna, you know, where are you gonna go and eat? And can I tag along? And they looked at me as if I had two heads.
yeah,
Because all they were going to do was get a delivery, whether that was a pizza or a Chinese or whatever, and that was going to be in their hotel room. And I remember the first week getting up really early to go and play a practice round because I was jet lagged flying from here.
yeah,
Walking down the corridor with my clubs, and every single room along that corridor must have been 25 rooms. They all had trays outside on the floor. And you could, as an example, go to a European tour event, walk down the same corridor with 25 rooms. There'd be no room service trays outside because everybody had already joined up and gone for a meal the night before.
exactly. Together.
And that you've got that you've got that culture where it is cutthroat, and it's hard in America to make a living out being a golf pro if you're a player, because there's thousands of good players, and I know there's thousands in Europe, but there isn't, if that makes sense. It's a different.
But there's millions over here.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I mean,
it's like a different world.
Yeah.
And for you to be that good in America and to get into that bracket, yeah, you have got to be. And we're all sportsmen are selfish, but you have to be unbelievably selfish and self-centered and focused to succeed in the US as a golfer. I can only talk as a golfer.
Yeah.
But that culture doesn't. You don't have that culture on the European tour.
Now, we've given free tips to the incoming captains of the Ryder Cup team how to go about winning it, particularly for the USA. So, and it's free of charge, that you can borrow it anytime you want. You know?
Is there any chance we get a sleeve of balls out of it or something like that?
We got no chance to get believable.
Like ticket, you know, the next Ryder Cup is hosted in Ireland, dear manager South Road from us here. But it's been another good night of enlightening conversation, and we wish we never know. You might be lucky. You might, if you get a phone call, you let us know. But By the way, Rangers are still looking for the manager up in Scotland. So, and
But look, if I get the Rangers job, I'm having you two on the bench with me.
they'll definitely be relegated.
If I get some kind of consultancy role with the Ryder Cup team, I'll get you tickets. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, I've got no chance. Well, Pat and myself mightn't have any chance because we're Catholics, so we wouldn't even be allowed in the door there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
That's three of us here, Catholics, Joe.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
did I ever tell you that story about Phil Bonnyman was a friend of mine, and we played together at Grimsby. And Phil was telling me he was at Rangers when Jock Wallace was there.
yeah, Jock.
Back in the day, right? Lord of Mercy, Jock. And Phil comes into the ground one day, and he's got his new suit on, right? And he just bought it from Burton's, brand new off the thing. And he walks in, and he's feeling great. Jock looked at him and said to him, he said, if I ever see you wear that in here again, he said, you'll never kick another ball for Rangers. And he had a green herringbone suit on. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. So he couldn't wear it again. So that's the difference in the two of them there.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Steven Gerrard didn't go back. You know.
I'm not. I'm not surprised. It's very, very
Tough.
It's very tough to go back, and especially, I mean, Celtic have won it for 11 out of the last 12 years. And
he had success with Rangers.
He won the only one that Rangers won in that time.
Yeah.
So he's going back, and I mean the writing's on the wall there. I mean, I read an article last week where they said, the ideal guy for the Rangers job would be Sean Dyche.
All right, yeah.
And he's a guy that can unite a dressing room and get guys pulling in the right direction and what have you. And the guy was making a case for him. Not that he's the best tactically or anything, but that's what they were saying. And it needs a charismatic character to go in.
It does, yeah. It needs a Brian Clough character. Yeah, that's what it needs. And Rangers, I think, since the time that they were forced relegated at that time, when it happened to the club, it took them an awful long time to come back up to any semblance of normality as they used to operate on, I think there's still a residue of that there, It has.
Oh, I'm sure there. I'm sure there is. I mean, it's it's so difficult to rescue it once it's going downhill.
A lot of the sponsorship money, a lot of the TV money goes to Celtic. I'm not doubting for that because they're a successful team, And
even Celtic, though, you're looking at that. I mean, you have fans over there because they didn't do well in Europe. You have fans over there right now, a 20-page what's wrong with the club and we need to change this, we need to change that. What are you talking about? Yet they've won the league for the past how many years? And you're going into Europe, which is a whole different animal completely than you're used to.
Yeah.
I mean, playing in the Scottish Premier League does not prepare you to play in the Champions League.
No, it does not. Unfortunately, and they will struggle. And Celtic struggles. We see Celtic, that's one of the
question I'd ask is, if Celtic and Rangers join the Premier League, would they survive or would they get relegated?
I don't think they would be successful.
No, I think they'd be relegated.
Yeah, I don't think they would.
You've got the two biggest teams. It'd be a little bit like Man City and Man United, for argument's sake, even though United are useless. It'd be like taking the two big Manchester teams, or Liverpool and Everton, or Tottenham and Arsenal, and dumping them in the Championship.
Yeah.
They would just dominate it, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. I mean, you're looking at a different standard,
Yeah.
more consistent, different standard. Before
And
we finish, I have to mention one thing. 50-year-old. Not that 50-year-old is very old, you know. Mark Williams won the beat Sean Murphy to become the oldest winner of a ranking tournament. That's Mark Williams. He's one of the snooker players that began their career with Ronnie O'Sullivan in 1992. So they're still. He beat Sean Murphy 10 frames to 3. It's just over today, but that was Sean Murphy's second tournament in China, getting into the final. So he's had a good innings as well. But just for people to know that, you know, well done, Mark Williams. Another taffy successful. Yeah, he's some Wales, as I know, you know. And Wales are losing still to Belgium 2-1. I hope they might get an equaliser. Anyway, for this edition, lads, of SportsView, we've come to the end of another program. So from Joe Waters, from Durban, Hona, we wish him all the best, Durban. They have your number, and for myself, until we meet again, we may have to sign a check the next week, Joe. You never know.
Yeah. We might be hopping on a plane. Who knows?
Yeah.
you never know.
You have my number, Durban. It's on the bottom.
Yeah.
You have my number and my
What are you talking about?
you have my agent's number as well. And, for this edition of Sports, you lads, it's been a blast again, and we'll see you all again next Monday night, Lekkoon of Day. So from Joe, Darwin, and myself, take care and bye-bye.
Good
See you,
night,
boys.
everybody. Take care.
Yeah.
See you next week.